Rugby's definitely a unique sport. Rugby's a contact sport, it's a collision sport.
You get beat up pretty bad on the field and it can kind of drag you down once you get back to school and through the week.
It's a sport where you have to be physically prepared to play, especially at this level.
My body's been brought through the ringer the last 4 years. It is a super physical sport.
So that takes its tolls. Our guys are training, 4 days a week on the field, plus getting their lifts in another 3 days of the week, and then playing their games on Saturday, rest and recovery on Sunday. And we haven't even touched on being a student athlete yet, right? There's so many different aspects to it that not only physically but mentally, it definitely takes its toll on you.
Our season's very short, it's very attritional, so it's very time consuming in that short frame. It's about 8 to 10 weeks long.
6 games, so it kind of comes at you quick and it's gone in an instant.
So I think it's just all about staying on top of your schoolwork and managing your outside relationships as best as possible during that time.
Starts waking up in the morning, getting that schoolwork done before you got to go to practice, because you don't leave it till after, it's not going to get done.
It's not only that you're doing 20, 25, 30 hours of rugby a week, you're also doing 20, 25 hours of school a week. It builds up a lot on guys, and I don't think people always understand how busy we actually are.
I think being a university student is tough, whether you're a varsity athlete or not.
Everybody has their own story, everybody has their own challenges going on, so I think we're trying to just do something a little bit bigger than ourselves as a community, show our support, and maybe through our goals here that maybe if someone is struggling, it helps them to feel welcomed and able to speak up and maybe just share maybe some of the challenges they're going through.
This is Brock men's rugby team here to thank you for your Movember support.
The Movember campaign started back when I was here, but it was tiny. We would raise a couple $100, maybe $1,000, not through lack of trying, but I think just through lack of connection, and we didn't really have anybody spearheading it. I think that changed a number of years ago. In my mind, Josh Celebre, who's now an assistant coach in the team, really stepped up and spearheaded that program and just put some plans in place and really pulled everybody together to start that kind of wheel in motion.
He started the fundraiser when I was in my first year. I think we raised $2,000 total. And when we came back the next year, I think we hit 3 or 4K.
He did a really good job of passing that along, and we've been fortunate to have great leaders in our program step up and take that torch and push it on. And now we've got guys like Caleb who have really gone behind this and pushed it.
Ever since Caleb took it over, it's really been obviously the next level, step up, and I'm roommates with him too, and I can just see how hard he's working, which other people don't. He's always on his laptop, he's waking up, he's like, I got Movember stuff to do today, and I think the drive out of him is driving the rest of us to make this cause something worthwhile while we're doing it.
As far as the motivations behind it and why we keep doing it, I think it's just common experiences. A very large percentage of men have had some negative experience with mental health, or know someone or are very close to someone who's been affected by testicular or prostate cancer.
For the rugby community as a whole, mental health has always been a big thing. It's one of those things that seeing big dudes run around and then talk about their emotions and stuff is something you don't normally see. And it's something that we need to see. We need to see people showing their emotion side, showing that it's okay to not be okay.
Rugby's great, but when there's bigger things to push for, we've done lots of fundraising for cancer awareness for guys that have played on the team prior. Fundraising for them and fundraising for men's mental health, I think it's just something that we're looking to help out in the community and to do something just a bit bigger than ourselves.
And I think the momentum behind it just comes from how relatable of a cause it is. I think mental health is something that resonates with everyone. I think everybody experiences it a bit differently. That sort of universal thread that exists in it is what really pulls our team together around it and really kind of pushes them to do this great program.
You can never know what it's like. Your blood like a winter breeze, just like ice. And there's a cold, lonely light that shines from you. You wind up.
I stand by this wholeheartedly. I think it's so good for building team culture. Previous years have we done with the head shaving, the polar dip and all of that. Gets all the guys out, making sure that we're all socializing with each other.
It's so much on you that once rugby's over, for example, you're kind of like, what do I do with myself, right? So you go from being like the busiest person on earth to having absolutely nothing for yourself.
All of a sudden it's over and it's nothing. So I think this is important to get the guys back together and make sure the camaraderie is still there.
We try to make sure no one's strangers, try to make sure everyone's getting involved, just hanging out all the time, whether it's just simple things like watching a football game on a Thursday or practice or after practice, the team swims. I don't know, we just try to, even in the off season, we try to make sure everyone's involved.
We're just a big family. I know we talk a lot about, as a team, we're just all best friends, and I think that's something that can be seen on and off the field. I think we spend a lot of time together outside of rugby.
Rugby as a whole has a massive camaraderie respect to it. It's one of those sports where you stick together.
I think that building community as a team and then also as a school is a great way to just help people feel that they're welcomed and that they're able to come to you and chat with you and say, hey, I'm going through something, like I just need help or I just need to chat. Like, I think that's something that our rugby community is trying to foster and build here.
And I think rugby itself, for that reason, is what made me love it. It's just that it's not just me out there, and it's me and 23, 46 other guys that are all having that same goal and back me and I back them.
I've lost a few loved ones in my life, and it definitely takes a mental toll. It was definitely made easier because I knew I had my family and my rugby family to kind of fall back on, and I had guys messaging me from the team and supporting me through that. There was never a time that when I did lose a loved one that I felt alone.
If we're all open to each other and talking about what's wrong, what makes us happy, how we can solve it, I think that's beneficial in a big way. And I think just leading back to the rugby team, we're such a tight community that if you can have those open talks, then nobody's alone, and we know what's going on, and we can be there to help whatever it is.
You know, I think having those normalized conversations makes such a big difference, and people don't realize it.
There's that stigma around it, right? It's one of those things that people are scared.
As a society, we need to just sort of tear down that wall and just create that awareness and acceptance that, this is something that everybody struggles.
Everyone goes through it. It's something that everyone unfortunately deals with.
It's a universal human experience, just making sure that people know that, I'm somebody they can speak to, our coaches are somebody they can speak to, there's resources here that you can connect with to get that support.
Going forward, if we normalize these conversations, make them as casual as possible, and make sure that people know that struggling with mental health is a normal, regular, manageable thing, I think that's when we're going to start seeing a lot of progress. So.
Rugby's given me so much in my life. That was sort of my avenue into post-secondary. It was my avenue into grad school. It was my first job out of school, was working for Rugby Ontario. Just a really great community, not just within the team, but within the broader rugby community that exists here.
I think mentally it's just, I'm always in a good mind space. Played rugby forever and it makes me happy and it's fun, and being with these guys who I call my brothers it's just another way to have that fun and build up that energy that I want on the field.
You get to run around and just have fun, kind of let all your worries go away for 2 hours while you're at a session or when you're lifting in the gym there. So it's just a great way to just kind of let all your problems kind of fade away and just go have fun.
Every year there's a new group of friends you make. Just the community on campus. There's always something to do, whether you want to go to the grocery store, whether you want to just come play spike ball on a nice day, go to the beach in the summer. I don't know, I'm from 3 hours away from here, so I don't get to go home a lot and see my family. So it's nice having people around that I don't know, if I ever feel down or lonely, they're always around, and we have similar interests, so it's nice in that way.
I think the one thing that I love about rugby is inclusivity. We have guys that are 5'6", 120 pounds to guys that are 6'5", or guys that are 300 and some pounds. It's one of those sports that everyone's involved.
These guys are my best friends, and this program's helped me through a lot of tough times. So yeah, I'd say overall the best benefit is I have 42 best friends now that I pretty much die for. So.